Morning on our segment Women Are the Forefront, you want to speak to one Madam Lizzie Wanyoike, who wears so many caps, so many titles under her name. She couples up as an educator, a philanthropist, as well as the CEO and founder of what you commonly refer to as Nibs, which is the Nairobi Institute of Business Studies. We just want to speak with her, at least to help us better understand about her entire journey and wearing all of these caps. Even as being a mother, how has it been like for her doing all of these things just as a woman? Thank you so much, Madam Lizzie, for joining us on the show this morning.
Yes,
just before we go to even how Nibs started and the journey of Nibs, maybe help us to understand, because when you're beginning, it was at a time in the early 2000s whereby most of the schools that were there were universities and they were offering degree courses. But you chose to go the other way, to do diplomas and certificates. Tell us, why was that?
There are so many reasons why I decided to stay as a college and not university. In fact, I had worked my way all the way to the doorsteps of a university. But I changed my mind the last minute. After we have invested a lot of money, bought books, put up a big library, changed everything into a university. Actually, today, Nibs is a university. When you look at the facilities, it's basically a university. Our students are very lucky because they have all the facilities. But then I stopped and thought, now, when you are checking on our results, how many people qualify, proper qualification to universities? It's 27 to 30%. These are 70% are people who got the C and below. Even some as far as D, D minuses, and even E's. So who is going to take care of this? And I felt that as a champion of the youth, I need to think about more of the youth than myself. By me getting a title or you own a university, it's not important to me. So I decided, let me just remain this a diploma. And again, for me, I never went to university. I'm a diploma holder. I'm a teacher by profession, a high school teacher. Those days we were after Form 4, when you get good grades, you got invited into a teacher training. They train as a high school teacher. So I thought that it doesn't mean that unless you go to university, that's when you can become productive. No, it depends on you personally, what you feel, what you see the world, how you see the world, where you want to go and where you want to guide people to go. And even with a diploma, again, if you check around, people who have degrees, when they're looking for jobs, they're expecting high jobs. You expect to be paid not less than 50,000, 100,000, because you are a university graduate. But as a diploma student, you want to start somewhere, So you know much better because you have the skills. The diploma students have the skills. The university students have the theories. So I felt that I should encourage as many people as possible who do not qualify to go to university, not to enter universities just for prestige purposes, but to know what you personally want to have, what you have. And that's why I halted the whole issue of university. Even the Commission for University Education, maybe they are listening, they know that. My file is still open.
They knew you refused.
They know, I said no. They couldn't understand after spending so much. But I'm more comfortable, you have better facilities, we are more confident. My students, I tell them, I'm one of you. So when I'm talking to them, I'm telling them, you see, if I can do what I have done, you people can do better. The facilities are better these days, so you can do better. So that's why I forgot about the university, even having been told you'll be the first woman to own a university. No, to me, that's not important. The importance is lying with the other person. For me, I'm okay the way I am.
Okay, and you've mentioned something which is very fundamental, that you're a champion of the youth, and we'll
Yes.
come to that a bit later. But then again, you've also said something that I like in terms of saying that it is not that important to go to university to make it in life, because you also just told us that you are a diploma holder, you went to Teachers Training College, and now you've become so much more that even one will admire. But tell us about the aspect of not necessarily going to university to make it in life, because most of us youngings in this time, it's like, unless I go to uni, I can't make it in life.
That's the perception people have, because there are so many graduates, university graduates, so many who do not have jobs up to today. They have stayed there for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, but actually most of diploma students have jobs. I can assure you. And again, look at any company, senior or at lower level or at the lowest. Most of the employees there are diploma holders, diploma and certificate holders. The managers who are university graduates, they are very few. You don't need more than 10 managers, because if you have 10 managers, then
who's working? Yeah.
So every manager has the responsibility of taking care of about 50 diploma holders.
Yeah.
So jobs at diploma levels are more available than at that high level. So I think people, you should, if you have a degree, it's good. You are gifted. God has given you the talent to move on and on in education. But think twice. Ask yourself, why am I not getting a job? Now, there are many reasons why you are not getting that job. Number one, maybe you passed through university. You know, there is a difference between studying and passing
through.
Maybe you passed through university and managed through whatever means. You have read in the paper, some of them, you know how they get them.
Sure.
Is that the way you did it? That's why you can't pass an interview. But if you know you are confident with yourself, maybe you took the wrong course, because the government will just check at your pass rate, the grade you got, and tell you are going to do agriculture. You are going to do fisheries.
And that's not what you wanted.
You are going to, but that's not what you wanted, because everybody cannot do what they wanted at the selection level of the universities. So maybe you're in the wrong career. Can you maybe go back to the drawing board and look for your passion? You know, you are still young. If I tell you when I started business, I was over 40 years. I was over 45 years when I started Nibs.
That's when you started?
When I started Nibs. So it's never too late. And the other years, I was employed, I was managing a smaller college. But if I compare what I did now for the past 20 years and what I did within the other 18 years I was working, there's no comparison. I have developed more because I am more mature, I have got more understanding of life, I have children, I had children to take care of, I had a husband to take care of. So you see, when you mature in a way that you know yourself, you know what your partner requires, you know what the world requires, because we are not created just to serve ourselves. If you are just serving yourself, then there is something you are doing wrong, and you may reach to the end of that. But if you are serving community, you feel that you are created for the community, it gives you much more satisfaction. Yeah. When you do something here, when you help a lady who is struggling with her hustling, and you go help her, boost her, you feel, it makes me, my passion is to make, God has given me, has brought me up to where I am. What can I do to the other unfortunate people? Yeah. How can I help them? Maybe that's why he put me in the position that I am. So I think people, I don't think personal. Personal, God has taken care of me. And then he has given me the work to also look at other people. What are you supposed to do? If it's your students, what have you facilitated for them? And they know, what facilities have you given? How much better are they other than these other colleges? I'm no longer there to make money. I'm there to empower the youth, to make them be like me. I grew up in a village, in under very difficult conditions. You have no idea. Up to high school, I had not known there was a Nairobi city up to Form 4. I used to read, maybe like you read about USA, you read about Australia.
That's how you used to read about Nairobi.
Nairobi. So when I did my O-level, still in the village, is when I managed to come to college, for training. That's when I understood, wow, there are better things out there.
Yeah.
And
there's actually more to life than what you're used to.
More to life than just the village life. Not just going to the river to fetch water, not just cooking and taking care of your younger brothers and sisters. Okay. And I can tell you, it is good to know that there is a future. And you people, young people, you are very lucky because the technology is there. You have the TV, you have people like us talking to you. There are no people who are mentoring us. Only your parents were telling you, and you don't know, you are beaten, you don't know why you are being beaten, you are not explained.
Right, and we'll come to that mentorship aspect also a bit later. Yes. But I want you to at least demystify for us, what is the difference between studying and passing through? Because most of us young people, we go to these campuses because we are in that stage, you know, after primary, I go to high school, then obviously just have to go to university. So we just go because I am in the level of I have to be there. But we actually don't get the difference between I need to be here to study and not to pass through. Where do we draw the line?
You know, young people, these are very lazy.
They're very lazy.
I don't know where to classify you. Very lazy. But once you finish the university, you face the reality, face on.
There's life, there's real life.
Yes. So when people are at school, they take life so easily. When people are at college, it's like they're just passing, you know. They don't take life seriously. They are just concentrating on, they're still teenagers. Some of them are still, you know, you are in your late teens.
All the A days.
Those days. And you are just thinking about how energetic you feel, what you should do with your energy, how many boyfriends you can conquer, how many girlfriends you can conquer. And you find that you are not taking school life seriously. Fortunately, there are those of us, or those people who are generally gifted. You know, in life, there are one thing we should admit that we are not all created the same. Yeah. There are some people who are naturals. They will just not study, but they'll pass their papers. Yeah. But the majority, the 70% of us, we have to study. Yeah. You have to understand exactly what you have learned in class. You have to practice, you have to do homework, you have to do classes on a daily basis. But at university, you have the freedom. You attend or you don't attend.
No one cares about it.
No one cares. You are just free. And that's what I have refused at the Nibs College. I have completely refused that kind of behavior. When your fees is paid for, we don't want your money for free. You have to come and study for that money. You must attend all classes, you must do all the assignments, you must do your homework on time, because we also train you the world of work. Yeah. You know, if you're supposed to be in class some minutes to 8, at work, you're supposed to be there even earlier.
Because when you're actually working, you'll do that. So why don't do the same in school?
We train them both education with character. Yeah. That we are training you to pass exams properly, obtain the skills, and then go get a job and do it right. So the young people have that problem, but we are talking to them a lot. The difference between then and now. Again, the population is exploding. We have thousands and thousands of university graduates graduating and others at university, and thousands and thousands and thousands at colleges. So who is going to get that job? You know? Yeah. How many jobs do you have here? Yeah, you know, you can only accommodate, let's say, 200. How many graduates are there?
You have thousands and thousands of them.
So you have to select where you want to stay, where you want to be, and who you want to be, because you are not going to study still. I keep on telling the young people about this technology. They're always watching videos on their phones and all that. I tell them, look, the technology will give you what you want. It has the best and the worst. But there's one thing that is not going to change. Nobody has managed to stop the aging process using technology.
True.
You grow old.
You'll still age.
You still age. You become a guka. You become a grandma.
Having done nothing with your life.
Having done nothing. God has given you this period of time to build for your old age. What you do now, as for me, I know what I'm enjoying now is what I created when I was young. If I didn't go to school, if I didn't get my diploma, if I didn't get a job, if I didn't work well, I wouldn't be able even to come here.
True.
Yeah, I wouldn't get this opportunity because there are so many people out there who haven't gotten that opportunity.
Exactly.
So
that is actually what most young people need to understand. That actually there's a difference between studying and just passing through school because it is your time to be there. But let's come back to Nibs when you're developing this school, because I understand that at that time you actually were in partnership with some partners together with your husband, and you began Temple College, but you dropped the partnership and you chose, I want to start something. I want to begin something different. I want to actually begin a school of my own. As a solely one person. How was that for you? Walk us through that journey. Doing it alone, a school, not even a school, a college.
Yeah, and a big one at that.
Yeah.
You see, I told you I was employed, and then we took this partnership of this other college as partners. But for me, I think my parents had brought me up differently, and they had showed me there is growth. So anytime I came up with suggestions, maybe we should move from where we are. We were in Tomboya. Maybe we should move from here. Maybe we should move from just having one floor. Maybe we should move somewhere where we can have 3 floors so that the college can grow. Nobody was listening to me. Now, so every year we were the capacity of maybe.
So all your cries, please, fell on deaf ears.
Yes, nobody listened to me. But then an opportunity just brought itself because we started differing so much that a partnership just broke. And for me, I'm the one who had maybe caused the whole thing. I don't know, because of always complaining. So
you wanted something more.
I left everything with them. Everything. The college was intact. Took nothing. Even my files, everything, I just walked out.
Wow.
With nothing. And so, but then I started thinking, now, what can I do? Now I'm jobless. I have nowhere to go. So what do I do? And then I thought, well, I went to school. I've got papers. I'm a teacher. Maybe I should go and look for a job. I said, no, but here I was very senior. I don't think anybody else will be able to give me a job. So I decided to start my own. And do a lot of prayers because it was a very difficult time for me. I really prayed and asked God, please,
for some guidance.
Please lift me up from here. I've done so much. And even those days I used to do the same. I used to sort of like see other people like human beings and of equals, and I would talk to them. I would mentor my students. I would do everything. I would help those ones who couldn't pay school fees. I would request for them to study for free. And God heard my prayer. And when I started Nibs, it just shot up. Now, beginning was okay because I had bought some plots. I was investing. And I keep on
at the time when you're still working.
Oh, yes. Let me tell you, even now here, whatever you are getting, try and save something and buy something for future. I was saving my salary because my husband was very supportive, so I didn't need to use much of my salary. But then when I was on my own, I had to, what could I do? I had to sell those plots. I sold those plots. I made enough money. I had even built one of them, a house which I sold. I put some money. I was persuaded by James Mwangi of Equity to buy shares. That time, the Equity was still a building society, and it was transiting to a bank. He advised me to buy some shares. So I put some money. into equity.
So you had investments here and there?
Yeah, now this money I put there, he told me this is going to work. And I put that money there. So, but then I got rented space in town. Started with the Pioneer, I moved to Cooperative Bank House. And I was there for 6 years. But within a period of 6 months, I was going to be kicked out because the students were coming too much.
They were increasing.
They were increasing, and that was the worst challenge, which taught me the best of my life, because I realized that this is a rented area. I can be thrown out anytime. I told God, can you facilitate me with my own building, my own something? And from that time when I went to court and I won the case and I stayed there for 6 years, by the end of the 6 years, those shares had matured. I sold those shares and I put up the complex now, which is in Ruiru.
The main campus.
The main campus, which is on Thika, past Ruiru. It's on the main road. That's when I didn't have a loan for that, because I sold the shares and they were good. So me, anything I do, I go back to young people who were my age then, when I was saving. No matter how little you are earning, even if you are saving 100 bob, 200 bob, 500 per month.
It's something.
Something. Have something, because you never know. You could lose your husband through an accident, through illness, or you can be thrown away by your mother-in-law or your father-in-law.
And you have nowhere to
go. Your fathers are good, they don't do that. So anything can happen. Always be prepared these days. You have to prepare for the future, the unknown. So if I had not done that, I wouldn't be where I am. And I thank God that He has made me much more than I had even asked for, because I had asked for little, but He gave me more than that. And I have been fortunate enough because my work has been recognized, I can say even worldwide.
Globally.
Yeah.
So much of what you're saying, even to youngins who might be watching, is that invest, have something, because you're just walking us through your journey and how you began Nibs, and much of what you used in terms of resources is because of what you invested prior to starting Nibs College, right? Yeah, but now coming back to just how you started, because also when you began, you began with 2 teachers and 25 students. So how was it like for you? First, even before we go to how you got students, getting teachers, because you see, you're beginning, this is what was in your mind, this is your idea, this is what you want to do. First of all, how do you get these teachers? How do you say, even if there are 2, how do you say, I will pick this one probably no, this one, okay, let me think about. How did you pick the teachers that you began with?
One thing I say, like, God has always been following me. When I left this other college intact, there's one particular...
The Temple College?
Yes. There's one particular lecturer, she's called Sylvia Otieno, who refused. He said, Mom, wherever I go, I go.
So those cases like in the Bible of Naomi and who? Naomi and Ruth.
And Ruth. She moved with me. She told me, I don't care what is going to happen. Wherever you fall out.
I don't care about the money as well.
I don't care about the money. You share, you give me at least for you to start. And also, I had used my photograph to market Nibs. You know, my whole picture was in the Nation newspaper and on the notices where people check who has died and who has not. And people would look at that, and you know why I did that? It's because I had created a good name for myself. So parents had confidence in me, students had confidence in me, and that's why I always tell people, everything I did, there's a lesson for people to learn, that wherever you are working, do the best you can. Work as if that is your own company.
And don't burn bridges.
Don't burn bridges. So this teacher came, and then immediately some of the students followed her, about 15. 2 came from about 10 came from another college that had also closed down. Those were 25 students. Those are the ones. I sometimes wonder where they went. I wish they could hear me so that they can get in touch. The ones who
because they helped you form the base, the foundation of what is now Nibs.
Yeah. So that's how that is how it all started. Now, again, starting a school is very easy. It's not like starting the hotel. You know, when I started this hotel, it was completely took me by surprise. When you start a school, you grow according to the population. You put another class, you bring another teacher, another class, another teacher. And so it's so easy. I can tell you, those people who want to open up schools, starting a school is the easiest.
It's not all rocket science.
It is not, it's so easy. And the other thing you have to do, you must give quality. Quality and also relationships with the students and with their parents. Those things must be there. That any parents who want to see you, they have access to come, make an appointment, come and see you. And the students also have the access. But those students never want to see their principal. They think they'll be discovered, they have not.
Or don't become these principals that are all high and mighty. No. There's a protocol for you to come and see the principal.
I keep on telling them, please, my office is open, just come. If you have a problem, just come. And even the same as the lecturers. I tell them you don't have to go through the HR or through anybody, just come personally and see me. And I've seen that one making me feel very close to the students and also very close to the lecturers and all the people who I work with. So the best thing about knowing yourself is, first of all, you have the profession, start something that you have an idea. If you have been working, you can start a business which is related to what you have learned. I learned a lot in the management of a school, and that's why Nibs is so successful. And again, don't think of making money fast. Whatever you do on the ground is what will bring you the profit. Not first of all, the money you are collecting from the bank. Don't even refer to a bank statement. Facilitate the student. Let the parents be happy. Let you be happy. And then this way, the college will grow. And the college will make money.
Right. So still sticking with the growth and development of Nibs, at that time also when you're beginning and you had moved from this building to another building and you had about, was it 1,200 students?
Yes.
And the landlord wanted to chase you away and then you had wrangles here and there with the court, but at least you won the case. But in that period, how do you manage to take such kind of issues as opportunities and they become an eye-opener for you? Because oftentimes, especially in our time, you know, such things like that, they'll just make someone say, then let me leave it. It's too much, I can't handle, I can't bear. But how do you manage to do that?
Let me tell you, challenges are meant to be there for you to learn. They are very good lessons. If you go through a challenge, you don't want to go through it again and again and again. Take challenge as a lesson. So when I was being thrown out of that building, that's the time I learned I must have my own institution.
And you had 1,200 students.
I had 1,200 students. I didn't know what to do with them. By the time I was I finished my 6 years, the college had grown. So I looked for another space in a place I didn't like initially. But then I had the Nibs. You see, the institution I have, we are on a 15-acre piece of land. I can expand. I have put, now I built on 2.5 acres. Now I have put up another complex in the other 2.5 acres. And thanks to banks, Equity and Family Bank, you people have really walked this journey with me. And you see, when people see developments, they have no idea what is behind it. They think you have money.
The background, the foundation.
Nobody can develop without a loan. Nobody. You cannot go big without a loan. And again, when I say that, when you know you go to the bank to borrow, make sure that you can pay. Never take chances, otherwise you lose everything. And so many people have done that. Don't ever take chances. I didn't take a chance. I built that. So this challenges to you and to the others is, please, let every challenge you encounter be a lesson. And also, share it with the others. Don't just keep your challenges on your own and you don't learn. You know, for me, I've gone through handles, I've gone through serious challenges. But when I talk to young people, I tell them, because young people, men and women, always get ready for anything that can happen. Be prepared for the next, what would happen tomorrow. So, people have challenges, they give up, they go into depression, they kill themselves, they kill the families. But I think that is very wrong. There is always a way out. And God was just testing you and see you. But if you are refusing to be tested, then you go. So
ideally, what are you doing on the planet?
Yeah, you know, everybody was created for a reason.
Yeah.
Even if you are going through problems. The other day I went to visit some for Christmas. We took a lot of chapatis. Thank you, the people who made chapatis, and a lot of food. I went to visit another group from my Gataga area who are very poor backgrounds, and they have challenged children. Cerebral palsy, autism, other strokes, others, all sorts of problems. And the difference between this and the others is these people are very poor. Their caregivers are old and weak and with no money. So when I went there and I talked to those people, they really felt encouraged. And I almost cleaned my whole kitchen where I had kept students' food for borders. But borders, don't worry, we have bought new food. And I took it there. So you must also thank God for whatever little you have.
Yeah.
And that way God will really assist you. Because when I went there is when I realized that people complain for nothing. There are people who deserve to feel sad for themselves.
Yeah.
And those people, I had to go there and give them some kind of hope. And I promised to work with them. I do so many others, but that particular one really was too much for me.
It touched you.
It touched me so much. But I'm hoping that we'll be able to work with them and be able to at least let them at least money for medication and also for, for food. That's all they require. But most of them, they talk very strongly. They say they are waiting for God, and then I say, God is with you. You're not waiting.
Yeah.
God is here with you. It's the way you have spoken out. When I was told about your group, that was God talking. I'm here, and I can only do so much because as an individual, you may not be able to do much.
Exactly.
But what you can do for a whole month, feed them for a whole month, is good enough. Maybe by that time, I'll have found somebody like you. Let's go. I have a bottle of oil. I have a tin of oil we can take.
Yeah, true.
So I think life is, you are not created to just be happy with your family. You are created to also help God, because God is not going to come there personally. He is in every one of us. God lives in each one of us. But some of people keep their God so quiet, so far they don't think they are capable. But everybody is capable of, remember Jesus used to tell the lame, just stand up and walk.
So ideally what you're saying is that we will not be happy all the time.
No.
And sometimes issues will come in life and we have to learn how to deal with them. But still sticking on Martha's issue, Madam Lizzie, I just want to pick your mind on also how to deal with rejection, because at the time also when you wanted to transit from being an employed teacher now to starting your own thing, your own school, your own college, you went to your employer. And you told her that there were some things you felt like you needed to do more than the secretarial courses which you were teaching at that time, and you felt like you needed more courses to be introduced, something different. You wanted something different to be done, but they weren't listening to you, and she actually rejected it. But you still felt the need. You know what? This is what I have in my mind. I want to push ahead. I want to push forward. So how did you deal with that and just come out from that box of, they rejected my idea, but I still will push ahead and do what is in my mind?
You know, for me, it was much more than just my partner at the work refusing. It was much more because it was my partner, both at home and at work. So
it was like two rejections.
Yeah, and I can tell you, the only way to deal with rejection is to know that you are born alone. You are created alone. You are moving alone. You are not a Siamese twins, you know, those that are born.
Exactly.
And despite the problems you will go through, and I can tell you, there is nothing nothing as bad as when you separate people, two people are separated. And I keep on telling young couples, there's nothing as depressing as separation. It takes a toll on you. And if you're not careful, you lose yourself completely. Remember, you are individuals and you are alone. You are now here on your own. You are born alone. Even these partners you met when you are mature, you have to pick and say no to depression. Say no to anything. Ask God, I'm here the way I am. You are the one to take me from here to the next step. And Lord, without you, I will not be able to do that. It is difficult. Rejection is serious business. And unless you have gone through it, you know, people take things for jokes. People take partnerships as jokes, and they pray about. And you say, kwani, wewe ni nani? Let me tell you, when it happens,
easy.
when it happens, it's time you realize that you are alone.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have options because going back to the village.
You couldn't do that.
I couldn't go that. I couldn't go back to the village. So I had to think now like I have graduated from school. You are starting afresh. So depending on how you have spent your youth, that's what I keep on going to the youth, I had not wasted myself. I had children who were grown up, and I had my education. Certificates in your pocket, girls. I keep on telling you.
Have something.
Have something. So say no to depression and walk. And ask, what can I do? If I don't have the money, how can I start? Maybe I have some little money. Let me not worry about those people in the streets. Let me go to the streets, hustle there, put on my second-hand clothes there, sell them. If anybody look at me and says, now, what is Madam Lizzie doing there? It's none of their business.
This
It's
is
my
you.
life.
This is you as a person.
Now you are surviving. Do anything. You know, that's why when men lose their wives, and maybe the wife was the one who was now more of a breadwinner, they get completely lost. They go into, because they don't want to be by their colleagues, somewhere selling shoes or doing. But a woman, no matter at what level,
they'll go ahead and do it.
They'll go ahead and do something. They'll go and rent out a small office, because if you had a good job, you must have saved. So women are very strong. And men, strong as they are physically, they are weak. So they are the ones who should take care, make sure that their marriages don't break. They don't break them, because they suffer more than women. They go into a very depression, and they get into drunkenness, they get lost, they do everything. There are some who are okay. I'm not saying that is everybody, but rejection is something that can take a toll on the strongest person. So, and it can make you strong. Me, I was very weak. I was a village girl.
Imagine.
I was a village girl. No, didn't know anything.
Being rejected by your employer just because you have an idea, and they think, no, your idea is not fit for what we are doing here as a school. So basically also what you're telling us is that learning to speak, to talk to people, say no to depression, and move forward. So we are still speaking with Madam Lizzie Wanyoike, just explaining to us her journey of starting Nibs College. That is the Nairobi Institute of Business Studies, which has about 4 campuses right now. Just walking us through that journey of her journey into doing all of this, how that has been like for her to becoming the CEO and founder, as well as the many other businesses that she has. But before we go to all these other businesses in terms of the hotel as well as also your foundation, let's still come back to your teaching style, because the way you teach your students is not just teaching them, but you also offer them mentorship, and also when they get to a point where it's time for them to get internship and jobs, you look for these jobs and internship for them, which is not common in most schools, because especially a principal, you know, the management, for them, my work is as a principal to come ensure that you come get the education. After you're done, go look for life for yourself. But you do it differently. What was the need for that, for you to do it a bit differently, for in terms of them, in terms of you looking for this internships, jobs for them, even as a principal, as the founder and manager?
Yeah, you see, it's very, very important to understand that a student graduating from school has no practical idea.
They know nothing.
They know nothing. They have the skills, they know that, but they don't know how to apply them into a business. Let's say in school, they just cook, they eat the food, they do that. So they need to, attachment is very, very important. To be attached, if it's wherever you can get attached to. So it is for you to learn the world of work, you know. Then that's the time you're going to apply what we have been teaching you at college. That's the time you are going to know timekeeping for real, being absent from class now, from work, you lose your job. So what we do that, and most of our students get jobs immediately upon finishing their internship.
Because at least they know the skills.
Because they have seen them. In fact, our students from Nibs, they are known. They are known. They are different. Of course, we have the bad ones, because even you have 4 kids, there is only one who will always be astray. Yeah. I'm not talking about everybody, but I'm talking about the learning we do at the college is so different from others. So when they go for internship, some of them take them, and if they don't have vacancies, they leave them on their database. Now, getting for jobs, people call us. But when people call us wanting our students, we are very careful, because there are so many conmen out there.
So you just don't go for anyone that
No,
calls?
if you want our student and you call the institution, we have to come there.
Wow, to go check?
To go and check. You know, there are some people, you know, you girls, especially girls, and even boys, most of you are taken, they are given, called, oh, come, I'll get you a job. They go into we meet in a restaurant. And then some of them have lost their phones through those conmen. Others have
in the most
told,
unconventional
okay,
way.
Now we are here. First of all, we have to enter in that room. You know, please, your turn, you come. Don't take those shortcuts. Because once you get into that room with that guy, even if he gives you that job, you have become a slave. The day you say no, because you have found a boyfriend and you want to settle, you are out.
You don't have the job
anymore. You don't have the job. So please, discipline is very important, especially when you're looking for a job. That is very common. Other people get hoaxes. Like now, the other day, there were so many people advertised in the newspaper that they are interviewing people for senior jobs, senior companies. And they are being interviewed at Emory Hotel, my hotel in Keresho. It's very nice. You should come there and have coffee.
So they're using your place
because it's a nice place. It's famous, good everything, conference facilities, everything. So they advertised that, and people were told to send money. And they are told
for the interview.
For the interview, to register, the money will be refunded. And they sent 1,500, I don't know how much. And I can tell you one morning, I went to work at Emory Hotel. And then I found a group of about 100 young men. Some young, some others not so, dressed nicely, waiting. And then I looked at them, I can't recognize them. And then I went inside the hotel. I was told these people are told that we are having that the agents are conducting interviews here. All those people have lost. You can imagine. There were so many hotels. It was not just Emory. There were other hotels also that were to do that. So sometimes when you become famous, you have to be very careful. They were using Emory because it's nice and
because
famous.
It's a nice place.
So we have to be careful. Don't send money to a place you don't know. Don't meet with somebody you don't know because you are desperate for a job. Be patient. Your job will come. And also, try to understand why you are not getting this job.
At that time?
Is it the interviews you are failing? Is it the seriousness? Is it the way you dress? Is it the way you go there, even dressing? When you are going for an interview, You students, you can dress, you know at the Nibs you have to dress decently. They just dress decently. But you allow them all the hairstyles they need, the boys can do they are young people. You don't deprive them of the youth, yeah? But I tell them, maybe when you are going for the interview, if you are doing business management, go there in a suit. And for that day, temporarily, the hair grow, cut your hair and have a nice haircut. And go for that interview. Because I know you have been trained very well here. You should be able to pass that interview.
So that is why for you as a school, at least your teaching style is a bit different. When it comes to these jobs and internships, you ensure that you actually go to the company to see if it's legit for your students to go there. Okay, also in terms of your training as well, in your school, that you also train your students that in as much as you do these other courses, because you've also diversified, you know, you're not just fix it into business only. Now there's tourism, there's mass media and journalism, there's engineering, there's law, there's all of these courses. But still, you still tell your students that don't just be fixed on whatever course that you're doing, but also have business. Be business-minded. How is that significant? Because someone would say, I'm doing law. What is the need for me to think business? I'm doing media. What is the need for me to think business? I mean, after media, I'll just go to a TV station and go work. And I mean, what is the importance of business? So what is the significance of this business orientation in as much as there's different courses that someone might be doing?
Let me tell you, whatever you are studying, be it in engineering, be it in law, be it in IT, everything has a business aspect of it. And where you are going to get a job, it's somebody who created that business, isn't it? You can also create your own business. And even if you're becoming a lawyer, you may want to start your own law firm. You know, to start a law firm needs for you to know, I am now in business. So if I'm in business, what is required? And that entrepreneurship unit is compulsory and it's very
regardless of the course.
Regardless of what you are doing. Of course, there are so many of these other courses, like in engineering. We also train them to work on their own. Let's say you are doing electrical engineering or motor vehicle, the others which we are going to do, like building and construction and all that. So many people of the big contractors, they are not architects, they are not QSs, they are just diploma holders who start their own company and bring together these other consultants and they start their own businesses. We keep on, most people, Kenyans have become very much business oriented. And when you do ICT, you may even start your company, especially the richest people now are people who are using technology. They are going places, they are doing wonders. So how to do business is very important because we teach you how to deal with the people. We train you how to do business and how to treat your employees, how to set up that business, whatever business that it is. We can't train people to be employed throughout their lives. We also want to empower them in their futures when they have learned their skills that they can also do business. So I still think it is very, very important to think business. Business management is not just about business. When you have done
managing
business management, you become a manager. It doesn't have to be your own business, but you are employed as the manager. And when you start at diploma level, continue on to university, you become a better person because you understand from your certificate to your higher diploma or university graduates, you understand them. So I think business part of it is very, very important.
All right, and Madam Lizzie, we've extensively talked about, you know, the growth and development of Nibs, which is what is like your child because you've seen it grow. This was your idea, you wanted to do this. But just before even you talk about whether or not you wanted to be a teacher, let's first understand, because you really also beat many odds as a lady, which is why we also have this segment, Women at the Forefront, just to at least encourage women at least to, you know, try and move from these boxes that, you know, maybe life might have put them into, at least to move, to beat the odds. Because while you were still young, you almost got married while at a very, very young age, but you moved from that, and now you came and became something bigger, something greater, a woman that we really admire in our society. What would you say to parents or even guardians who still feel in this day, age, and time that education is just for boys? Women are worthless to be educated, because you bet that.
The world has changed a lot, and we have moved from there. The women are housewives, because you need to move with the times. As for me, I am very passionate about parenting, because I know parenting pays big dividends later. I have my children. When I was bringing up my children, I was very close to them. Today, after they are gone out of the country, USA, and done all these courses they did, different courses according to their passion, because you have to do something.
That
you
you love.
know, all of them are back working for Nibs and Emory. My firstborn son was a banker. He worked in the US 10 years in a bank. And he was given responsibilities in different departments. So he knew how to manage people, and he knew how to manage money. So when he came, I offered him a job. We negotiated a salary, because it's not his, it's my
not
business.
mother, son, it is work.
It is, he is an employee. Yeah, I can make him a director if I want to. But I don't want to think that this is my business. It's not their business. They are just learning how to manage it. You know, me, I'm creating succession path. So my son is there. My daughter, the second born, who is an engineer.
And you deemed it fit for her to get an education.
I did encourage her. She did want, she had been admitted to do education. She turned it down in sciences. She went out of the country to do engineering. She did architectural engineering. So after working there, I persuaded her with the husband to come back to Kenya. It was not easy, but she came, and now, if you look at all the construction, even that hotel itself, she's the one who is in charge.
And she's a girl, she's a lady.
And she's a lady, and she's employed. The husband is also working with us as the operations manager, because I'm close to my children. I know them, I know their weaknesses. And so is the husband. He's an ICT guy. He's the one who does everything for the institutions, both here in the Temora. He's married. The wife is working as a marketing officer there. She did marketing at degree level. So you can see mothers and even fathers, it's good to be very close to your children, to show them respect, to be able to listen to them, and also to guide them. Never ever ignore your kids. Find out what is bothering them, get to know their strengths and their weaknesses. I knew mine. And by the time they went out of the country, I'd learned them enough. When they came back, I continued. I know it's very rare for parents to allow their kids to come, but the youngest one keeps on making fun, tells me, Mom, this is not our business, but just let's build it. Just in case, you know, you are older than us, just in case.
Just in
Then
case.
leave us with the structure.
Yeah.
We will continue. That's why you are training us. I would advise parents, your kids, you know them, you know their strengths, they can be very useful to you, even if it's not to work with you, because not all of us are able to be close with you and to support you in whatever little you are doing. Be close to them, because they are younger, they know more, they can be your consultants in whatever nothing or little you are doing. Make them better than you are. I have made my children better than I am.
Right, so basically what you're saying is that we are living in a times where it's not just, education is not just only for the boy child, but girls can also become better. That's just, you know, the way you've told us about your own daughter who's actually doing so much, and she's a girl and she got the education. So that is just as equally as important. But then let's tell us about your foundation now. The Madam Lizzie Foundation. What exactly is it all
about? The foundation, I want to talk about parents who do not want to educate their girls.
You're really so passionate about that particular
because I know there are parents who still feel the girls should not be educated. You are just giving her a very bad future. Let your daughter be educated. But, you know, we can never be equal with the men. Never. And again,
And we are not equal.
We are not equal, but we have, let us learn, take them to school to understand what a woman is supposed to do.
Exactly.
And is to take care of you and to take care of their children. As parents, even if you do not go to school, you are back in the village, let your children go to school. They will learn much more. You know, education creates a wholesome person. So let them do that. So when we come to the foundation we are talking about, I told you from long ago, automatically it's not something I planned, but I found myself wanting to assist. Now, every time I go out, I go out to talk to churches, to women groups, to men groups, to
young people.
Young people especially. One thing I don't charge. No matter where I go, if you invite me to Nakuru, to wherever,
so your speaking is for free?
It's for free. It's giving out back to society.
Okay.
So I tell the people out there that everything is possible. But there are some time you meet somebody, you find that this person is passionate about taking their kids to school, but they are extremely poor.
They don't have money.
They don't have money. Well, when I found and I corrected so many, I could not, I'm not very good at asking for money. Because people, when they see the buildings, they think I have the money. Nobody has money. That one is with the bank.
They see four campuses, they see a very prestigious hotel.
She's rich, honestly. You know, it's not that I'm rich, it's because I have been able to organize my small business to grow.
Yeah.
And then I borrow, I saved and all that. So then they became too many, but I started doing that in 2007. And those students who I paid school fees for, some of them, most of them are working, they are doing very well. Unfortunately, I have not seen them coming back to assist the others. So I've done that for years, up to today. Now, when they became too many, I am now looking from within to see, you are brought to college, they are relying on what they can sell, their chicken, they sell their cow, and then they reach a stage whereby there is nothing remaining. And they have not been telling us. Then you see somebody coming and telling you, I want to defer my course.
There's no money.
I ask them why, because there is no money. So you dig into the background, you see, wow, this person is needy. I've been paying fees for those ones. And now again, I brought in these people, the sick people out there. And I have nobody who helps me because I'm not good at soliciting for funds. But the little I do, I feel very happy. But I'm praying that maybe somehow people can come and join me. So that there are so many needy people here, many. And when I have done 100 or 120, I have left 200 in my files. So when maybe one day, one time, the foundation is there. It's like now I have been hustling myself, I sell some uniforms here.
So also have some business on the side.
Somewhere and get 5,000. I put it here. Some of the small rent houses I put up before, I take about 10%, I put it in this fund. I'm also, in the churches and all that. But the little I do, I thank God for that. And I always hope that I may be able to do more if I get assistance from outside. I've tried from out of the country. I only have one donor who gives me $3,000 every year. That's $300,000. $300,000 is enough for students who are doing a 3-year course plus.
A single student.
A single student who is selling, because of the uniform, the upkeep, the food, the what. It's even basic because you don't count the money. Your parents did not count the money they were paying for you.
True, they did.
If they counted, you are worth $1 million. And they are not millionaires.
Yeah. So basically what you're saying is that even in your foundation, much of what you do is basically from you yourself as a person, mostly your own pocket.
Yes.
Now, Madam Lizzie, as we bring this conversation to a close, because I also understand that you do so much, a lot of mentorship, especially for young adults, and you're so passionate about the young people.
Yes.
So as you bring it to a close, what is that one thing that you can tell these young adults, especially the ones that are watching, mostly the ones that feel like after campus I need to get a job and this job must pay me worth what I went to get this degree for. But sometimes that's not the case. So as we come to a close, what is that one thing you'd like to tell most of these young people that you're really passionate about?
Yeah, I normally tell them, and I continue telling them that there is enough for all of us, and you must get your portion. You must get your part, but you have to fight for it. There's nothing for free. You have to work hard. Ask God, have a vision, and walk towards it. There will be so many handles, this crossing there. You have to, first of all, charity begins at home. Who are you? Do you understand yourself? What are you doing? These days there is a lot of drug taking, alcohol, life, bring in so many early pregnancies, getting married prematurely, divorces. Every step you make, think about it. When you create a baby and you don't take care of that baby, you create a human being, and that will haunt you, both men and women. As you go there planning for your life, please always think that if we do this, who is going to suffer?
Okay.
It's you.
Okay.
Your life is your own. You are your own driver.
Right.
Nobody is going to help you.
Right. Thank you so much. So they are their own driver. We are our own drivers, basically.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us on the show this morning, at least walking us through your journey of being the CEO of Nibs, how that has been like for you. Thank you so much for the good words of wisdom, especially for us as young people. So we've just been speaking to Madam Lizzie Wanyoike, who is the CEO of Nairobi Institute of Business Studies, walking us through her journey of founding this big school, as well as her other businesses and much more also concerning her foundation. Much of what she's saying is that as young people, have a vision for your life, stay focused, be focused, and always just have patience. So that has been what we've been having this morning on our segment, Women at the Forefront. We still have so much lined up for you on the other side of this break. The next interview coming in after the break, as well as also just much of what will be happening on our roads in terms of traffic. For now, we take another short break. Don't go anywhere. This is Good Morning Kenya. Stay with us.